We've all seen clips of French actor Alain Delon and witnessed his unique beauty. He does not look like a stereotypical model such as Jon-Erik Hexum or Hernan Drago, but he is nonetheless extremely handsome in his own way. So what makes him so attractive? First, we will examine his most unique feature, his eye area. Do you notice anything out of the ordinary about his eyes? You probably can't tell the exact proportions, but it's clear that his eye area is feminized. His eye aspect ratio is 2.75 to 1, which gives them a more rounded shape. Women typically have more rounded eyes, while men have more narrow eyes. There is something else that is unusual about Alain Delon's eyes. He has very large irises, at around 51% of his eye width. For comparison, Matt Bomer's irises are only 43% of his eye width. Babies have far larger irises than adults, so larger irises are associated with youthfulness and femininity. They also make his eyes look bigger and minimize scleral show, the show of the white under the eye. He has a good eye separation ratio as well as a high canthal tilt. His eyebrows help masculinize his eye area. They are thick, dark, and are low set, which are all highly masculine traits, as women tend to have higher set and thinner eyebrows. Lastly, we have to talk about the colour. His eyes are blue and his hair is jet black, which gives a rare and unique contrast. High facial contrast is also a feminine feature, but it seems to look good on men too. All of this put together gives his eye region a good mix of masculine and feminine traits, along with a high facial harmony, making his eye region uniquely attractive. Next, we'll talk about his jaw. Alain Delon's jaw is another feature with both masculine and feminine traits. His jaw shape is good with an ideal jaw frontal angle. This also harmonizes well with his ipsilateral ala angle, as the angles are very similar. When the angle of the jaw and from the nose to the eyes is the same, it makes the face more pleasant to look at. Sean O'Pry is an example of performing poorly on this assessment, as his jaw frontal angle and ipsilateral ala angle deviate significantly. Alain Delon also has an ideal chin to philtrum ratio and lower third proportion. One polarizing feature is his jaw width. His jaw is narrower than ideal at only 81.5% of cheekbone width, while most attractive men are between 85 and 92%. This is a feminizing feature, and part of why his face has a less masculine feel. It's technically a flaw, but it bodes well for his pretty boy aesthetic. His overall facial proportions are great, and these are what make his features look good together. What do we think of when we think of physical beauty? High cheekbones. His cheekbones are high set at 83% of mid-face height. These high cheekbones not only look good on their own, but provide under-eye support. His facial thirds are equal, with the lower third being slightly longer, which is ideal for a man. His total face shape is in the ideal range, not looking overly compact or overly long. Jordan Barrett is a good example of an overly short face, while Ryan Gosling has a long face. Neither of these are super attractive, and Delon strikes a good balance. His facial width to height ratio is good, but on the lower end at 1.92. A high facial width to height ratio is associated with dominance, aggression, and likeliness to lie. Delon's is higher than average, but lower than most models, playing into his softer, more feminine appearance. Overall, Delon's front profile is highly attractive, and he scores 94.9% facial harmony, higher than many top models. Now let's look at his side profile. Straight away we can see that Delon's side profile is highly attractive, but it doesn't look as strong as someone like David Gandy's, and we will discuss why. Delon has a long ramus and an ideal gonial angle, which makes his jaw look sleek and harmonious. He has a straight nose with no dorsal hump, and his nose is well proportioned. The reason you see most good-looking people with good-looking noses is because when the maxilla has developed upwards and forwards, the nose generally comes along with it and doesn't have a dorsal hump. He also has a positive orbital vector due to his good forward growth. One polarizing aspect of his side profile is his brow ridge. He has a weak brow ridge with a nasofrontal angle of 135 degrees. The brow ridge is dependent on testosterone and is a masculinizing feature. A low angle is preferred, showing more facial masculinity. Delon's brow area is very feminine, which is a flaw, but may make him look more safe and less threatening, which is great for love interest roles, while making him incapable of playing someone like Rambo. Delon definitely has more pretty boy appeal, much like Chico Lachowski. He doesn't have all the classically masculine features, but that's what makes him unique. He has great facial development and manages to score very well in harmony, while looking more feminine. His facial convexities are all ideal, and he has no signs of recession. He does, however, fail the S-line and the Burstyn line, two minor flaws in the lip assessments. Delon's side harmony is 85%. Alain Delon's total facial harmony is 90.8%, a very high score, but facial harmony isn't everything. We need to look at his intangibles. There are other metrics that impact his overall score, including facial dimorphism and facial leanness. Delon clearly has a very lean and defined face, and although he does have masculine features, his face overall isn't super masculine. This balance may have helped him become the most popular Frenchman since Napoleon, but we are talking about objective beauty here. Objectively, his dimorphism is better than average, but still far below other models. Combining his dimorphism and facial leanness, he scores an 8.5. His youthfulness, skin, lips, and hair are all amazing, so he receives a 9.75 for this category. His eyes are so bright blue and have a certain sparkle to them that is rarely seen. His nose shape is sleek, his cheekbones pop, and his cheek hollowness looks great. His side profile could look a little stronger, so he receives a 9.75 for his features, giving him a final rating of 9.1 out of 10, 1 in millions. If you want looksmaxxing advice and a full report like this, you can purchase a face rating from the link in the description. Thanks for watching.